Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tardis Zone Live. This is myself and Rabbi here with some Doctor Who news. So I will just give you all the things that I've seen today that are worth talking about. So on the 29th of May, we'll have the Underwater Menace vinyl release. We'll talk a little bit about that. I've seen the artwork. It actually looks absolutely amazing. If you haven't seen it, I will actually show you the artwork. Peter Capaldi also during the tweet along left a note for the fans. We will try read that out. I do have to apologise when whoever wrote the note down for Peter Capaldi after he had written it had wrote it so small that it's very hard to bloody read what he actually had said. Also, Paul Cornell has actually written a short story for Jodie's Doctor Isolation, read by Manip Gill, or it's supposed to be in her words. So he wrote a short story for the plank. Also, no response from the BBC on Twitter or Facebook. I have to actually make sure that I say that, because on Twitter and on Facebook right now, they have not acknowledged the death of Pip Baker. So for anybody that doesn't know, Pip Baker actually died on Peter Capaldi's birthday, early morning. He was rushed to hospital the night before. We'd seen the post. Sadly, he has passed away. Interestingly enough, as I said, BBC still have not responded on Twitter or Facebook to the fact that this man has passed away, which I find actually very disrespectful. But am I surprised? Really, no. This organization's trying to retcon Classic Who anyway, so why would I be surprised? But I have been given news just before I came on. It's regarding Stephen Moffat. Now,
Ooh.
a few weeks back, we spoke about actually on this channel. I told you that I had received information from the source of Spyfall that Stephen Moffat and others were planning on taking over Doctor Who. That's what I was told. Now, since then, obviously, we have seen Stephen Moffat, and you all know my thoughts on it. He's wrote a short story for Jodie Whittaker, so that kind of put the cat amongst the pigeons as far as I was concerned. But it turns out also, the night that I was telling you that Stephen Moffat was planning on come back, I did speculate on this channel. Well, if he wasn't to come back as full showrunner, maybe executive producer with RTD along with Chibnall, give him a hand, help him out. Well, that seems to be now what is coming out from the sources, that Stephen Moffat might be tempted back to come back as an executive producer. He will not take over the show while Chris Chibnall is there, but you can logically think that after Chris Chibnall does bow out, the door is then open for Stephen Moffat to take over Doctor Who. Now, this is the news that I've received. Now, we did speak about this on this channel weeks ago, right?
We talked about it on.
Yeah.
It was the last time I was on. I think it was on months.
So months ago, actually. Sorry, yeah. So we've spoken about this on the channel. Now, apparently, there's other people out there on Twitter talking about. I haven't actually seen it myself, but I contacted the source because I was told that there was this rumor flying about. So I went to the source and I just said, listen, I know we haven't really spoke since the whole Series 12 because it's been a shitstorm. I says, is there any news on this? Well, he says, well, I did tell you that he went to see Piers Wenger. And that's exactly what happened. So that's the big news right now. That Stephen Moffat. There's a potential that Stephen Moffat could come back as an executive producer of Doctor Who. Now, this would, I have to say, I have to take a step back now, and I have to look at this logically. This would fit into what Rabbi and what others have been saying, right? If he was to come back in this capacity. But what I will say is we'll just have to wait and see what happens first. But it is positive that it's coming from the same source that gave me the information about Spyfall. And as I say, when that source actually tells me stuff, I sit up and I take heed, because they were spot on about Spyfall. They were so spot on about Spyfall that when I put the video up, BBC had it taken down because I had given away, and I quote, trade secrets. I showed the screenshots. If you go through my community posts on YouTube, you will actually find it if you scroll down. I show the evidence, because unlike other people, I don't pretend that this shit is happening to me. I actually show that it's happening. So yes, this is worth actually sitting up and taking notice. So Rabbi, I'll ask you, and guys, what do you think in the live chat? If this is true, how do you feel about that? Or do you still think...
Look, it's good news, but it's not. Look, we're not going to get good Doctor Who. There's no way I think Whittaker can pull off this role. And we're probably going to get a lot of the, ideological, political stuff still there, because that's really the most important to Chibnall. However, if we can get Doctor Who that isn't unbearable to watch, it doesn't make you like want to rip your eyeballs out of your socket rather than watch it. I think whatever. I think Chibnall is much better when he's on a leash. When he's got somebody who knows what they're doing, telling him what to do. But questions. What on earth could Moffat do at this point? I mean, their only real hopes of resurrecting this turd is actively undoing the Timeless Children. That's really that's what they have to do. They got to undo the Timeless Children, and they've got to. I don't know. I think time for Jodie to move on. I think they should do a surprise regeneration. I think it's their only real hope, and then maybe start afresh again with next season. I mean, it's the. I get the feeling like with all I haven't read the Paul Cornell story, but that was a smart move by Chibnall to get him to do one, because Paul Cornell has not had enough success on his own that he can say, screw off. I'm not. He's a jobbing writer. He's not going to turn down work. He's certainly not going to turn down work with the current showrunner for Doctor Who. But it does indicate that he's gone back to relying on people who know what Doctor Who is to write his Doctor Who.
Yeah. We will touch on that now in a minute. I just kind of want to keep it to Moffat for a minute, because, we've got loads to get through. This is how we're going to do it. I don't want us to kind of stray away from the subject, right? Because last night, when we had the last one, everybody was saying it was brilliant because we kind of kept to the script.
Okay.
Well, but what I want to ask you, but here's the question, right? So Moffat coming in, I can already see people in the live chat as well actually saying, well, there's not pretty much that Moffat can do. And I agree with you all, right? But the end game, Chris Chibnall will be leaving Doctor Who at some stage, right? And if Stephen Moffat is there as executive producer while he is still showrunner and gives up a showrunner, well, logic would dictate that the natural successor is whoever the executive producer is.
Yeah, do you think he'll want to do? I'm actually kind of surprised it wasn't.
Well, you see, here's the thing, Rabbi. Hold on, before you say that, here's the thing, though. But you know what's interesting, though? And this is starting to all make sense now. And you guys are probably right. But still, I'm still being cautious about it. But the fact that he's coming out with articles and all, and interviews saying that he's ran out of ideas for Doctor Who, is writing short stories and doing little things for this fandom while the tweet-alongs are happening, shows that the fire in Chris Chibnall, in Stephen Moffat's belly is ready to erupt. It's ready to erupt. I think maybe there is a possibility that he wants the job. I still don't think so. To be honest with you, I think this might be all smoke and mirrors. I don't know if the will is there from.
I don't think it is either. But you know what? I think his love of Doctor Who is there, and I think he also if he wasn't putting the major force behind getting Chibnall the job, I think he feels personally responsible. He
probably does, and this could be a good thing for him. And maybe it is, Rabbi. Maybe it is a guilt thing from him, and maybe he feels that he maybe needs to come back, but doesn't want to Chibnall show. But as soon as Chibnall is gone, he will wreck on this. I can see it happening if he wants to. I don't think Moffat actually wants to come back. I think he's looking at it and maybe he's saying he might be forced to come back at some stage because, as you said, there is some personal responsibility, and he should feel personally responsible.
Right, exactly. I mean, listen, but look, if he was the one who pushed for Chibnall to get this job, then yeah, he absolutely should feel personally responsible.
Yeah, right. Okay, I know you wanted to talk about Paul Cornell, and it does lead directly actually into the fact that
I think they kind of sink into each other.
You're right. Chris Chibnall is looking towards Moffat. He has begged. We already heard that he asked RTD. He begged, by the way. Sorry, that was what the article, that's the word he used, so we're going to use that word. He begged former showrunners to come back and write short stories or do something for Doctor Who. Now Paul Cornell has been roped in, as Rabbi has said. Now, I'm going to be honest here. I have not read the short story, and it's because of the fact that the guy asked a question on Twitter. I gave an answer that he didn't like, and he decided to block me. So I don't know whether this short story is good or not, so I will have to leave this to Rabbi if Rabbi has, in fact, which I
have no chance to read it yet, but I will read it shortly.
So what we'll do is for the next one of these that we do, myself and I will actually, I'll have to read it, won't I? I'll go and read it, Rabbi will read it, and then we'll give you our take on it.
I guess I'm going to put out a video about it tomorrow because
yeah,
I'm not going to miss out on that.
And then we can get Rabbi on then to talk about his video and actually tell us why he thinks whatever he thinks. But for you guys in the live chat, just to let me and Rabbi know if anybody has read it. Now I want you to be honest and don't be giving me all this because you hate Jodie Whittaker's Doctor and all this. Is the writing good? That's all we want to know. We don't care what the content of the thing is. We'll read it ourselves. But is the writing better than that we've gotten from Chris Chibnall? Yes or no? That's all I need to know from you.
Well, without reading it, it's got to be better than Chibnall.
I say so, but it's got to do with the Doctor in Isolation, Jodie's Doctor in Isolation, and apparently it's being read from the point of view of, if I'm correct, of Yasmin Khan, so it's for her words. So I don't know if it's just the article itself, a thing that he wrote, or he actually got her. Here's the thing, though, right? She's down on lockdown as well, right? So this writer writes a short story. Now, if this is only a short story and they haven't done a little video, I'd say, well, she has plenty of time in her hands. Why doesn't she do something for the fandom?
Yeah, like why didn't she do a reading of it?
Exactly.
It's almost
maybe I'm not being too picky, but I don't think this current production team. If you look at what, right? Listen, I'm critical of Moffat right now, right? Right now, I'm pissed off with him totally, 100%. You all know that, right? But I will say one thing about him. When he was asked to come back and write for Doctor Who, he didn't hesitate 1 second. Right,
he's done that a few times over, hasn't he?
RTD, same thing. Can't criticize it. They've done it. Even Paul Cornell, even though the twat blocked me because he asked a question and he didn't like an answer that he got, right? Even he has been asked to step up, and they're stepping up. There's one thing I will say: people that are not connected to this current production team are doing more for this fandom than that current production team. Where's Tolson Cole? Right, I know he's leaving after the Christmas special, but where is Tolson Cole? Where's Brandon Walsh? Where's Manny McGill? I thought Jodie Whittaker doing those videos fine, fair enough, but she should be doing something else. And where is Chris Chibnall, the current fucking showrunner? Where is he? Why is he missing in action? Right, it's a genuine question I'm asking. Where is the current showrunner? Right.
Well, he wrote one.
What?
He wrote one short story, remember?
One short story. But how long have we been on lockdown?
Look at what this guy does. Like, for him, that's like a week's work. You know, he's not like Russell T Davies.
I know, Rabbi, but that's not good enough. I'm sorry. This is
not for you or me.
Listen, you know as well as I do. This is the time for him to step up now. This is the time for him to actually earn the fans' respect.
It's good enough for you or me, but it's good enough for the BBC and it's good enough for him because they're all lazy shit. It's good for nothing, aren't they?
Yeah, it's coming across like that. It's coming across like that. I have to say, I'm very disappointed. I've always been disappointed in him anyway. I'm not surprised that he's kind of gone silent. One story is not good enough. He seems to be more interested in inflating his own ego with the videos that he does. I mean, you did a video on the 10 greatest moments of Series 12 or something it was. Yeah.
To watch
yeah. Oh my God. Right, I'll tell you, man. Just to lose, and then this is a bit off topic. I should stick to me on rules, but this goes into the whole thing, right? These Twitter idiots and these YouTube shills, right? Now, there's still a YouTuber out there. I'm not going to mention his name on this channel because I actually really don't want to give him any publicity. But he's coming out with all this crap. He put up a recent video and was comparing the ratings of other TV shows to try justify the fact that 68% of this audience have walked away from the show, right? Ratings are down, the proof is there, but he's still trying to manage to say that these ratings are actually still better than Peter Capaldi's.
How is he saying?
Yeah, I know. Listen, this is the typical YouTuber that we're dealing with on YouTube. Now, they've brainwashed a lot of these younger fans. I went into the comment section of these comments, and it's like it's people in the comments having a go. Obviously, people like us, as they always do, saying that we're the negative side of the fandom. Sure, he's more. I won't mention who he is, but he's responsible on Twitter, right? And there's plenty of evidence because people have screenshotted all over the shop of him calling out fans that have had a problem with this era of Doctor Who. Right, he's harassed other people as well, including me. He has me blocked on Twitter. I have him blocked on Twitter as well. I won't even acknowledge him anymore. Right, I have a nickname for him, as you all know. Won't say it here. But these idiots, right? As I said, and I wrote in the comment section. He might ignore me on Twitter, but he can't ignore me on YouTube. And I said it out straight. The failure of this show is down to you and the people on Twitter. Yous are responsible. Yous are the same people that were going after fans that didn't like this era. You're the toxic ones. Yous cannot see what we see because yous are too blinded by your agenda to actually figure out that it's not TV habits like he has also suggested in the past. This is not to do with TV habits because other shows that are shown on the BBC get brilliant ratings if the writing is good. For example, The Bodyguard, Killing Eve, and even Call the Midwife has been getting millions of viewers constantly for the last 7 years.
The thing that blows his argument out the water is that the ratings are higher for Country File. They fall off a cliff for Doctor Who, and they come back up for Call the Midwife.
I know.
I mean, it's just like, again, this is just reality.
And the thing about it is they tried to bend it to suit their agenda. The problem has always been, and we've said this to you from the beginning, is that Chris Chibnall and his writing team are out of their depth. He picked the wrong woman in casting Jodie Whittaker for the Doctor. If he wanted to go down the female route, even though I personally disagree with it myself, because I have my own beliefs that the Doctor is male, but if you are going to go down this route, they should have got an actress of the caliber of Olivia Colman or someone of that ability. You don't go after an actress that's a level above a soap star to take over one of the biggest flagship shows on the BBC.
A level above a soap star. She is so freaking out of her depth. She's so incompetent. She's exactly like a doctor. She's so unbelievably incompetent. And she just doesn't even know how incompetent she is.
Yeah. It's just startling. But these guys are blinded. You know, Jodie Whittaker fans bad.
The question is, whose idea was it to get these classic writers in? Whose idea was it to get Paul Cornell in and Moffat and Russell Lee Davies. Was it Chibnall's or was it Moffat acting as a
to RTD, because RTD put it up in an article. He asked them. Chris Chibnall begged them.
Right.
Begged them. If the current showrunner is begging people, right, then you have a problem. But according to the BBC, they don't have a problem. Now, listen.
The problems are coming for a lot of people. This is off topic, but this ties into this very much. At the end of this month, in just 2 weeks, is the companies have to give their first quarter reports. The corporations, and CBS are in massive trouble when that report comes out, and they're probably going to have to sell off assets to stop them going under, which means Star Trek is probably going to be on the chopping block. So I'm saying, so Star Trek might actually get be the next thing to be saved by this, but you're going to see by May, I think, a lot of movement, like a hell of a lot of movement on the business side, which is going to make this mess completely.
Whether we like it or not, TV is going to be restructured around the world anyway, because this is not going away anytime soon, right? In England, I was watching the press conference today. They still can't give a definitive answer how long this lockdown is.
They don't know.
Right? Now, at the end of the day, as I said, this isn't a couple of weeks. We're going to be at least until lockdown till at least Christmas. And by the way, when they do give us the permission to go out and do a bit of shopping for Christmas, I'm not doing any. I am not going out. That virus is not getting me, because I didn't trust them. I am not leaving this house. I'm serious. I'm going to keep this up for a year until I am satisfied there is no coronavirus out there.
But then no, you also would be worried about the Corona 20 rather than 19 COVID 20.
I know.
But I have to say, listen, it's really actually good news a lot of way. The whole financial stock markets, they gambled literally everything. We should have had a massive implosion and recession by now, because they gambled everything on this social distancing having an effect, and thank God it did. Because if it didn't, that would have been the economic. We were talking about this a month ago. That would have caused the economic meltdown of the Western world.
Yeah.
So we're doing pretty good.
We're not doing too bad. But going back to Paul Cornell, just want to ask people in the live chat if he actually did read the short story. Now, from a writing sense, was it better than that? And Chris Chibnall has given us all season? Let us know. Now, I want to move slightly on to a different topic. We will obviously do a recap, and then we're just before me and Rabbi leave, we'll just give our final thoughts on everything that we spoke about tonight as well. But right, so the Underwater Menace has a vinyl release on the 29th of May. Now, you're probably wondering why you're bringing that up. I thought you weren't supporting that Doctor Who, but I have to show you this, right? All right, see, this is what happens when you get love and care. When you get someone that loves and cares about a product, right? And obviously the person behind this illustration, wherever you want to call it, you could see that love went into this work. Now, I do like vinyl myself. I'm a fan of vinyl. I would actually start collecting Doctor Who vinyl if I wasn't pissed off with BBC. Now, this does have the new logo on it, but when you see the artwork, and I thought it was worth highlighting, because when you see this is beautiful. Look at that. Hold on, get these ads out of the way. See these. Look at that. Can you see that?
Yeah, it's nice.
Look at that, right? Now, hold on, look. So it's by Diamond Music Group. They present The Underwater Menace, the 5th serial in the 4th season of Doctor Who. Originally broadcast in 1967. The story starred Patrick Troughton as the Doctor, with Annika Wills as Polly Fraser Hines as Jamie and Michael Craze as Ben. Currently, only 2 of the 4 episodes are known to exist in the BBC archives, but thankfully, the soundtrack of all 4, well, that is getting an animation at some stage if you have the
I guess they're going to fill in those 2 episodes.
So you can pre-order. It's released on the 29th of May. But look at this artwork. Look at that. Look at the vinyl.
I love the vinyl with the print on the vinyl.
Look, I'm being honest with you. See, this is the type of thing that does appeal to BBC. Just listen to your audience, man. Seriously, you can.
Yeah, listen. I mean,
show around. They really can. They still have feckin' time. Just get rid of them. Look at that. Look, I'm being honest with you. Look, this is what you get. That is absolutely impressive.
Yeah, you know what's nice? The care and attention put into it.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Which you just don't get in with the.
No. Now, I know it has the new logo, but with that artwork, that new logo actually does work, right? With that artwork now, I have to say. I still don't like this part of the because it's obviously there that, you know, Chibnall knew what he was doing with the female symbol there, but there you go. Vinyl, if anybody is actually interested. Do you know what I'm thinking of getting? If we do get to go out, I'm gonna order a record player because I'm getting back in. I have a load of vinyl that I was given. I have a vinyl collection as well that my mum and dad have that because they know I love vinyl, so they'll give it to me. But I want to start buying, but I don't know about you guys, but that just looks. I actually love that artwork.
Yeah, no, it's good.
I really do. I'm impressed. So I just wanted. I know it's not, you know, normally something we do talk about on this channel, but I do like it. But now I want to get on to, obviously, the thing that's annoying me with the BBC right now. And obviously it's the fact that we lost another classic Who writer in Pip Baker. As I said, he was rushed into hospital the night before he passed away. His family had put up a post on Twitter asking people for prayers that he wouldn't get through the night. And then we woke up to the news that he passed away. Now, I can understand that BBC didn't put anything out official yesterday because it would have been too soon. But they've had all night and all day today. Now, as of now, before me and Rabbi actually came on 28 minutes ago, I double checked on Twitter and Facebook just so I don't get accused of, you know, jumping the gun. But I've checked again and still nothing from them. Now,
I mean, you know, honestly, this would be a moment for Chibnall to try and undo some of the damage he's done in fandom. You know, like he could make this a really good moment. He could say, listen, 35 years ago, I was an absolute prick to this guy. You know, on TV, it's something I've regretted my entire professional life. You know, and like do an obituary for him, and just do something that people go, well, that's a pretty decent thing to do. You know,
Chris Chibnall, he's still probably working on something. So I'll give that man the benefit of the doubt right now. Right now, I will give Chris Chibnall the benefit of the doubt. But when it comes to the BBC themselves, their official pages, they haven't even put up a poster to even acknowledge the fact that
they don't know. They don't know. Nobody cares about the shows working on it anymore. That's so obvious. That's really the biggest difference between the Chibnall era and with Rusty Davies and Moffat. Everybody cared about the show. Everybody cared about it. And it's so clear that nobody cares about it.
You know what? Someone said something to me, though, and it actually put a smile on my face when someone said to me, well, it's at least he was around to see how bad Doctor Who got.
Yeah, exactly.
Considering what Chris Chibnall had said to him, I wonder if that man, I don't know, I heard he was a lovely man and didn't hold any ill will towards anybody, so maybe he wasn't bitter about what Chris Chibnall has said to him. I don't know if he would have had a little smile on his face thinking about how bad it got and then sad at the same time because obviously his love of Doctor Who. But I wanted to ask is, with that said, what is the one thing, or what do you think is Pip and Jane Baker's legacy? Obviously, the two of them now, as some have said, are together again. What do you think their legacy should be? We do know that with the fandom, they are decisive with they know they're one of they're a team of writers that have caused the void in the fandom. So with that said, the two of them gone now, we can look at their legacy. What would you, or what do you best remember them for?
Well,
And
yeah,
what
they-
would you like to have seen them done differently that you think they shouldn't have done in the first place?
okay.
And guys, I'm asking Rabbi, I'm obviously asking you, but I'm asking you guys in the live chat as well. Anybody got a favorite memory of the two guys?
Okay. So
Anybody
what I think they should be remembered for? The Rani. They invented the Rani.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that can stay with them. That can go down in history. In terms of things they shouldn't have done before, they shouldn't have made the big bad, the thing at the end of Charlotte Time Lord that the Valier was trying to build was a megabyte modem. They should have found a different thing. Okay, that's what they shouldn't have done. But they didn't know what it was. Fine. But again, listen, look, they invented the Rani is enough of a badge of honor, that they could get an obituary. And also they did Terror of the Vervoids, which was I think up until season 11 the worst story Doctor Who has ever done.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say, obviously Colin Baker's era is not really one of my favorites. Of course, everybody does know the Rennie, or the Rani. You say Rani, I say Rennie, but we say Rani because it's the Rani. That's the proper. It's just the Irish in me. We always say it's like tree. We say tree when it's three. It's tree.
Did you hear the was it the Big Finish Rani stories?
I haven't. No,
pretty
not
good.
sit here and lie and say I have. I haven't. No. But I have heard they're very good.
Yeah, not bad.
But I just think it. Look, they obviously did. BBC did acknowledge, obviously, Terrence Dix. So
Well, Terrence Dix had so much bigger legacy with Doctor
yeah,
Who.
but it doesn't matter. It still doesn't matter. As far as I'm concerned, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter where they are, even in history or canon or with the fans. They wrote for Doctor Who, and as you said yourself, they brought a character. They brought a character to the screen that many fans love. So, I mean, with that said, they should get some right now. I'm sorry, they should be getting, the BBC should have done. I'm pissed off with the BBC, but you're right. It just goes to show you who's running those sites is not a true Doctor Who fan.
You if it was like 2009, Russell T Davies himself would.
By the way, just to let you know what the BBC did put up today. Obviously, we put up it was Maisie Williams' birthday today, so they thought that was more important. Maisie Williams' birthday. Peter Capaldi. Now, listen, I know he died on Peter Capaldi's birthday, so I can understand that the tweet along went ahead. I can understand that BBC focused on Peter Capaldi's birthday, but today should have been all about Pip Baker and Jane Baker's legacy, and it isn't. I'm sorry, it's disgraceful, but this just goes to show. You know what? Why am I not so? I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised anymore. This organization is rotten to the core. They've hired people that clearly do not love this show. Jesus Christ, I would love to work on the Doctor Who official site for Twitter and Facebook. I would, seriously, because...
Yeah, and that's what rules you out. Yeah,
no.
You have to keep in mind, we've been really spoiled since 2005.
I know we have.
It seems to be normal that, we have people who adore Doctor Who making exquisite Doctor Who, this is okay. I mean, I really do get the feeling that that this era is like winding down, even though they're hiring writers for the next season. I just get the feeling this is going to be moving into a different direction because it's just failing. If we all know it's failing, then they all know it's failing too. You know, there's no way around it.
Positive, right? Let's right because we've got one more little topic right that I've written down, and then Rabbi, because the last time obviously it was at the end of the show that I said, well, if there was that none, and you never really got to say. So what we'll do is right. I've actually written down what it's Doctor Who related. If there's any other Doctor Who related news that you want to add to this, then obviously after this last bit in thing that I want to talk about. And I wanted to save the best to last, obviously, and put a smile on fans' faces, well, people's faces here. And thank you, everybody, for contributing in the live chat. Really appreciate it. Me and Rabbi really appreciate the turnout. There's 39 of you watching right now. Do me a favor, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to the Rabbi's channel. I'm sure one of the moderators will throw the link up. And if you could also do us a favor, because me and Rabbi will be on the Irish Geek doing other stuff as well. Throw up that channel as well. But right, Peter Capaldi, obviously, during the tweet along, obviously I had me theory on why he didn't show up. But put all that aside, he had written a note for fans. So I am about to get that note up, and hopefully, because as I said,
it's really small.
It's really small. I don't know what the hell. It was like as if they didn't want people to bloody read it. I don't know, man. It annoys me, but we'll read it out to you just in case anybody didn't watch the tweet along and didn't see this. I think it's only fair that you get this to hear.
There's the greatest comment in the chat right now by the Cockmeister. Hello, Mr. Cockmeister. How are you? Who says fur-void heads look like clitoral hoods? Yes, they did. I don't know why I didn't realize that before, but you're absolutely right. And it just puts a whole new spin on the character that I think they could bring back in fan fiction in some strange way. But that's just me for.
Right, where is this now? Where is it? Did she take it down? She didn't take it down. Oh, by the way, the next tweet along is the double bill of the Stolen Earth and and Russell T. So it goes on for 2 hours. It's one after the other.
So we doing it?
Yeah, because it's Russell T. Yeah, of course. Come
here.
You know what I'm going to do, but hang on. If you're on for Rabbi, right? If you're on for it because it's going to be 3 hours.
But I was in the chat that the next one I did that he could come with me, but it's your channel. So, but just letting you guys know. I see problem being here. I see you here. I think of it. I'll ask everybody at once.
Right. Well, I was thinking that I might actually because even though it's great that they're doing the two-parter, I'm sorry they should be actually starting at Turn Left. Because it's right at the end of that episode. You get a little spoiler, and it's one of my favorites. So I class that as a trilogy. So what I'm going to do on my channel is I'm actually going to do a Turn Left watch along before the main watch along on the same day. I'm actually going to do 3 hours.
Right, yeah, I'm in for that.
Right, then. There you go. And if problem being, because I know I promised you, so if you want to come on with me and Rabbi, we'll do Turn Left. The Stolen Earth and Journey's End. Me, you, and Rabbi for that one.
I actually think that's one of the weakest season finales they did, because that was the one I feel that they really their imagination was just too big for their budget. You know, like the whole Shadow Proclamation was essentially just a room.
I know, but still, it was still good. Right, you just want to hear I'll read this note for you. Now, excuse me if I struggle, because this is actually pretty small. So this is from Peter Capaldi, and he wrote, an episode with the Doctor on his own. Maybe it was because Jenna had tickets for Glastonbury. Whatever the reason, there I was, locked in a mysterious castle for 4.5 billion years. Good practice as it turned out. As always on Doctor Who, it was a busy shoot. Fraser Hines came to visit, and we passed the Tardis, a Lost Doctor Who annual cover. At the end of the day, we did a read through the next episode, and in the middle of it all, we broke for a week to do promotional duties. San Diego Comic Con, Berlin, London, and then back to Cardiff and Confession Doyle. We shot and shot and shot, and it still didn't feel like enough time. Luckily for me, I was in the best company. Rachel, a bona fide filmmaker with who brought dazzling skill to every single scene. Stephen's script, a beautifully layered and what's that word? Evacuated narrative, so complex that just when you think you may have cracked the puzzle, there was always more to excavate. Uh, the late Michael Pickwood's beautiful, artful design conjured out very little money and lots of imagination. And Stuart Biddlecomb's atmosphere photography. Sorry, this is so fucking small that I can't actually see some of the. I tell you something, I don't know why they wrote it this small. This is ridiculous. Right, this is the last paragraph. Anyway.
It was a graphic design error. They didn't realize the format they're looking at.
Yeah,
it's better on a phone than anything else.
Here's the last paragraph anyway, and Rabbi is right. Jesus Christ, man, they could have fixed it though. It was billed as the only solo episode in the show's history, but there really is no such thing as a solo episode. There was a whole mob of talent in that particular episode with me. I'd like to mention them all, but for a moment, let's just say cameraman Mike McQuaid, whose input not just to this episode, but to the entire show has been immense. The eagle eye of Nikki Coles, our script supervisor, Liam Collins, not just props, but confectionery supply and moral booster, not to speak of Ace brother-in-law. Oh shit, Ace's brother-in-law worked with Peter Capaldi on Doctor Who. That is epic. That just made this story even better. And Fraser Hines and all going to meet him. Hold on now, right? And Jamie Reed Quarrel bringing his usual grace to the sometimes thankless task of betraying of a monster, and not forgetting first assistant director Scott Bates, James de Havilland, and our great team of runners and assistants. They are a whole team of others made Heaven Sent what it is. I hope you enjoy it and watch out for the ghost of Roger Corman. And the best from the Confession Doyle, Peter Capaldi. Wow.
Yeah, it was an interesting choice of them to do the watch along with. I really don't think that was his best episode. I think it was a very divisive episode as well.
I actually think it is. I think it's one of the. If Heaven Sent is one of the best, I think it was Hellbent. It was the next one after it. That was the one that was the one that caused the most murder.
Right, I hear that. But I tell you, I really preferred the Witch's Familiar and the the Witch's Familiar and the Wizard's Apprentice 2 parts.
All right.
That is my favorite Capaldi performance.
Well, we have to disagree on that one.
What do we do? Okay.
Yeah,
you know what else we disagree on? I really like Twice Upon a Time. I think that's a great little story.
Wow. No.
I think it's so Doctor Who for when he's contemplating dying that he will go to the World War One Christmas truce. That is something that the Doctor would so long to visit and so long to see. It's like a person who just loves peace and peace. That is exactly where he would go. like in the heart of like one of the worst wars and conflicts of all time, the humans just said, no, we're gonna be friends. So I really love that setting. And I also liked him like not knowing if he was going to regenerate or
not. I've received more news here just as we're speaking. So further on this Stephen Moffat, more developments. As we do say on this channel though, and I do have to stress this, because you'll always get some plonk out there that's saying, oh, the Tardis owner is lying, he's saying this, that, and the other, he's lying. Right, I just want to point out to you little knobheads right now, this is what we call a rumor. This is what we call source information. It is not based on 100% fact. Okay, you take it as a pinch of salt or whatever which way you want to take it. I don't care what you do with the information, but don't be calling me out and calling me a liar. I'm not a liar. I'm just passing on information that I was given. So the latest is what I've been told is that ideally Stephen Moffat would like his production company to actually take over the running of Doctor Who, which would mean then that Chris Chibnall would actually become just a figurehead. He's leaving after series 13, and all the creative control would go under Moffat's production team, and Mark Gatiss would be there overseeing the whole shebang. Bang, there you go. That's what I've been told.
That sounds fantastic. It sounds too good to be true, but I really hope it's true.
And by the way, if anybody asks us where you've heard this on this channel first. By the way, we spoke about this months ago. Anyway, Rabbi was here the last time when we spoke about it. So this is just an update. So all the other people that are talking about are actually behind. We've been talking about it a very, very long time about Stephen Moffat wanting. I was told at the time it's like a hostile takeover. And that's what it looks like is happening behind the scenes. Listen, all I will say is that this channel and other channels, Jordan Series and Series 11 and 12, reported on the fact that things weren't great behind the scenes Jordan production. It carried on into Series 12. Even BBC themselves, BBC Digital Radio, I put it up on the channels there for everybody to see. Little interview. Your woman even admits Jordan the show they had problems during production during Series 12. Series 11. They carried on into Series 12, and it resulted in, as we all know, as chaos in Cardiff. Chris Chibnall did leave that time, but he knew what he was doing. He knew that when he walked away, all the power and all the cards would be in his hands. But what he hasn't figured on is that there's people out there that truly do care about Doctor Who. And if this is true and this is what Moffat is actually doing, as I said, I don't agree with him writing short stories for Jodie Whittaker's Doctor, but if this is what Rabbi and others have said, that this is his way of flexing his muscles, showing the BBC that he's still capable of doing it, well then, yes, okay, I'm on board, but you've really hurt me feelings, Moffat. So when you do come back, please, do something amazing with Doctor Who. And
I don't think it's about showing the BBC he can still do it. I think it's about showing how, if he is doing a takeover, it's all going to be on very friendly terms. That's what I think it's all about.
Listen, we need a showrunner that's willing to embrace the fans. Listen, we've got to remember that also Stephen Moffat had a problem with this fandom and also left Twitter, right? This is why it's a big deal that Stephen Moffat is back on Twitter. Now, he hasn't closed down his account. The account has stayed open. And I think even after these tweet-alongs, we might be mildly surprised that Stephen Moffat might stay on Twitter. I think there is a chance that there could be some sort of rehabilitation going on behind the scenes with the BBC, and they're using the likes of Stephen Moffat, RTD, and all these other people. Maybe Chris Chibnall, yes, he might have power. Maybe he's losing grip. Maybe they've had enough after Series 12. You look at the Origins trailer finally revealed, and that's what I actually wanted to bring up earlier. By the way, I put a video up last night, so as you know, there's still YouTubers and Twitter accounts out there saying that Doctor Who is successful. Well, I put up a short video. Listen, I didn't go into too much detail on the video, but you can clearly see from the video that I put up in the comments from actually the general public and Doctor Who fans on the Doctor Who Origins trailer that nobody's happy with this. Now, if you don't believe me, go in and actually look at the Doctor Who Origins trailer and go in and look at the comments. Most of the comments are negative, right? Now, you will see that some of these comments get replies, right? And you'll go in and you'll see there's always one little shill defending it, right? But it's not much of a defense, right? But you'll see most of the comments are negative, right? The fact that it's got more dislikes to like ratio, it shows you everything that you need to show. Also, Metacritic,
it's 1,000, isn't it? It's not even close.
No, it's not even close. I put up all the critic sites. I put up the IMDb episode review, what they gave it, and then I put up the Origins trailer. I put it all up, right? I showed the graphs that TV Zone did, also Ace Creeper, their little graph. It's all startling, right? Now, by the way, I put that video up last night. Now, I normally get about 2 dislikes a video, right? I had a look at it earlier on. There's 6 dislikes on it. But you know why there's 6 dislikes on it? Because there's 6 fans that know that I'm telling the truth. There's 6 fans that can actually see it, staring them in the face, and they're so angry and so pissed off that their hatred of me. By the way, that video, I just want to bring one more thing up because it goes in with the Pip Baker news that we were talking about. So I put up a little short video to let the rest of you guys know that he had passed away because BBC didn't give a flying crap about him. So I alerted my subscribers, let you know that he passed away. 2 gobshites, right? Now, I don't care if you dislike me, but you claim to be Doctor Who fans, right? This is a fella that wrote for Doctor Who. He's a writer. I was doing a video on his passing, and you disliked the video. For me, that just goes to show you that you aren't a fan. You're a vile piece of shit. I don't care if you dislike me. You don't dislike a video on a subject matter like that. It is absolutely vile and disgraceful. Seriously, it is absolutely disgusting. I don't know. Look, I know you have a problem with me, but don't be not videos like that. I don't care if you dislike the rest of my other videos, but when I do, and it was the same when I did the Elizabeth Sladen anniversary video last year. Some idiot went in and disliked it as well when I did the John Pertwee one as well. These are supposed to be Doctor Who fans. I noticed though, when it's classic companions or classic doctors that I do, you dislike the videos. But as soon as I mention Jodie Whittaker, even in a positive light, it doesn't take as long to like, and no dislikes on the video. It's absolute. Look, I don't care if you hate me, right? This is a classic showrunner, so show some fucking respect. I'm sick. This is what I mean. This fandom has no respect. They're not even fans. Why am I even calling it a fandom? It's not a bleeding fandom. It's a war zone. A bunch of bleeding idiots. I put up 2 posts on my Twitter. Just have a look at what they wrote, right? And you can see what these fans are all about. Actually, I'll put them up on the page because you know what? This is a good little conversation to be having because I'm sick of this fandom right now. They lie. Right, they go around attacking us, and then they wonder why we come out. Do you know what? I said that I was giving up.
Yeah,
I'm not giving up. And you know what? Some of you are going to hate me for this, but I'm seriously considering doing what Rabbi is doing and actually reviewing the Christmas special and doing Series 13. Because you know why? Do you know why? I'll just explain why. Just for anybody, if they get angry with me in the live chat, I'll explain why. I haven't made up my mind yet, but I'm seriously considering it. And I'll tell you why. All these shills are going to praise it to the high feckin' hilt, and nobody from our side is going to say anything. We're just going to let them. No way. I'm not having that. Right? Not having it. Right. So this is what this fandom is all about now. Right. I don't even really want to read this, but you know what? I'll read it just to show you this is the kind of thinking that they have. Right, can you all see that?
Badly, but yeah, okay.
Right, it says, offhand, my wish list. Jodie's doctor shouldn't go too gloomy and serious. I'm worried they'll take the fun out of her character. There's no fun in her character. We want her to remain that exuberant doctor who takes us on adventures. Gloomy, navel gazing. No thanks. I'd like to see Yaz stay with the Doctor a little longer, maybe another companion too. Someone non-binary would be wonderful. Non-binary viewers might appreciate seeing someone like themselves on television. Ideally, I'd like more LGBTQ plus representation. I'd like to see more issue-driven storylines. The Doctor can take on injustices against minorities, continue to fight against bigotry and hate. A historical tale or two, a story about feminism, possibly a period episode about Louisa Jordan or Emily Davison. Also, I'd like to see a few alien planets, maybe one very weird planet where physics and time don't work. I want to see the Master return again. A few other old enemies can pop up. I mentioned that Centaurans earlier, but I think we're overdue a good Auton story. New enemies, bring back the Kasavan. Let's see the division in the Valiard Finery. An old companion returning for a story would also be good. Donna or Ace or Susan or Tegan would be best for me for the ratings. Rose, I'm sure if Billy would be up for the Timeless Children's storyline should be continued, of course. Let's see Ruth's Doctor back again. Right, I'll just respond to some of that.
Oh my God. So much stupid in one comment.
Yeah. Right, well, all I'll say is the reason why it's very interesting right at the end you bring up the ratings, because you clearly know that everything that you've written up until then is bullshit, and then you hit you with the reality that it's all about the ratings. I'll say something to you now. Bringing back Donna, bringing back Ace, Susan, Tegan, or dragging any old companion back is not going to save this show while Chris Chibnall is showrunner. As for the LGBTQ plus representation, all I will say is, well, you clearly haven't watched Doctor Who, because Doctor Who has been the forefront, and also, especially behind the scenes, they have been very good. That's one thing we will say about Doctor Who, especially, even though the BBC can be accused of some sort of bigotry. When it came behind the scenes, they don't care what your sexual orientation is or your preference is. They will hire you based on talent. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen anymore. So again, this whole LGBTQ representation line is an old one that you use. I would actually be more concerned about when Chris Chibnall introduces them onto the screen. Especially in Resolution, as I said, he brings a gay character on and shoots them after 20 seconds after the character's one line says, well, me boyfriend, just to let you all know. So that's what I'd be more concerned about. Would you like to respond to this stupid comment?
Yes.
And I've got another one for you, by the way. I'm not finished with that one. I've got another one, but you respond to that one.
Okay, so my thought is this. If he's really, this person, the poster, is really into like tackling like racism and bigotry and contemporary England, would he be up for them doing a show about the Labour Party under Jeremy Corbyn? Would he be up for that? I wonder. The only mainstream party ever to be investigated by the the Equality and Human. I mean, like, I know personally because I'm very Jewy, so I recognize like the anti-Semitism in Labour was just breathtaking. It was more than I've ever seen in my life, and I've seen a fair bit. It's like so I bet he would not be so into, or she would not be so into dealing with that kind of bigotry. I guess there is a very selective bigotry that makes them feel good about themselves.
Well, here, if you like that comment, right, I've got a better one, right? And this is from now, by the way, I'd just like to add that these are from everybody's favourite place, Gallifrey base. Now, I've been tempted to join under a different name just to ruffle a few feathers, but there's a few people in there already, and they're screenshotting some of these ridiculous comments. So here's another one, right? And this one sums up this fandom, right? This new fan, I should say. I want to rephrase that because it's not all the fandom. We know how this fandom truly feels. And this person is on, obviously, Gallifrey base. And as you can see there, just to show you, so she's clearly, this person is clearly a Jodie Whittaker supporter there, okay? So, this is what they say. I'd like to see more stories that educate younger viewers about feminism and gender equality amongst the usual episodes with alien monsters, the toxic sections of the fandom, the fan base that disdain Jodie Whittaker's Doctor might actually benefit too. Also, another 80s
You're all talking of education, okay.
show the corrosive nature of the Thatcher government. It worked for the Happiness Patrol. How about Daleks in Downing Street? Get political, but also entertain. Whoa. Well, Rabbi, what would you like to say about that comment?
I mean, I think we need some education about feminism. Clearly, we don't have enough of that already.
Well, hang on. But I want to just rein you back a little bit for a second, right? I'm not saying there isn't an issue out there when it comes to, women's rights, and there's still a way to go. But it's not as bad.
I'm going to disagree with you on that. I'm going to disagree with that.
But Doctor Who has always had a strong female.
Right. That's 100% true.
They have had
I would say there are abusive problems that women uniquely face in the Western world.
Yeah, but hang on, is Doctor Who the show to be actually?
No, absolutely not. But again, I don't see anybody's life being better or worse dependent on one's gender or one's skin color in the Western world today. I don't see anybody's life being better or worse because of that. Do you? Do you know anybody whose life is better or worse because you do get people who are like in the progressive state, like privilege because they've been marginalized. But
yeah, the whole go on. Sorry, Rabbi.
No one's doing better. Everybody, no one has an advantage because they're white or because they're dark skinned or because they're a man or because they're a woman. No one has any of what barrier to doing anything is there being a female? What can you not do because you're a woman? There's no barrier to any entry, not to STEM sciences, not to the military, not to writing, there's no barrier to anybody because of their gender. And there used to be, I agree, there used to be like 50 years ago, but now there's not.
It's a false narrative, though, that these people on Twitter, YouTube are pushing and the BBC are pushing. I mean, because has had its feminist companions. I mean, it's not, we haven't had always the damsel in distress companion. We've always had a very strong female presence along with the Doctor. And I just they just wanted the main role, but the thing about it is Chris Chibnall's not even writing her as a female Doctor. This is the problem that we have.
Right.
If you actually look, he's writing her more male than he is female. And as you said as well, and you pointed out quite correctly, he writes her as a bumbling idiot. I mean, there was a few humans left in that last episode, and she killed off. She got 75% of them killed off. It was like, what the hell? If they're the last humans, she just got 4 of them killed.
Right, now, taking a step back, she was actually warned. Captain Jack came from time and space to warn her. Don't do that, because it's going to result in the death of the entire human race.
And she did.
And it happened.
And she did. And by the way, just another thing. We don't want Captain Jack back. Not that I don't like John Barrowman. I do. But don't want him back. He's only being brought back to bait in viewers. And his cameo that was shoehorned in is a perfect example of the desperation of BBC. Now, we will end on something in a minute that's more cheerful, because I want to show you something from a previous Doctor. And it's a quote from someone, but it just kind of sums up this guy's acting ability and just goes to show you what Jodie Whittaker would never be. and it's absolutely fantastic. Listen, I just heard Super John telling someone in the chat, I don't know who is aiming at, no bad language in the chat. That is a rule. There's no bad language in the chat, and if you use bad language in the chat, you will be removed. Unfortunately, YouTube is actually more strict on the chat than they are with me on my video dropping the F-bombs. So keep the chat clean, please. You can get your point across without having to F and B. Me, I'm Irish, I'm different. It's not a stereotype, but like, you know, I can't say anything without having the odd F and B, but not on the chat. Thank you. Right. But yeah, I mean, look, it's interesting. Like, I mean, Chris Chibnall's already making the same mistakes as we know. He's already brought back 3 of the writers, especially Ed Heim, as we spoke about the other day. We actually did this. It's just baffling. It's just baffling. We don't know what he's thinking is. But just to recap for everybody, if anybody has just joined us, so the biggest news that we have gotten, now we did speak about this on the channel months ago, but we got an update. And as I said, for all the dumb idiots out there that accuse me of lying, as I said, this is rumor, speculation, blah, blah, blah. I'm not saying it's gospel. You know what I mean? You don't take it to the bank and say, oh, Noel is right. You know what I mean? So that means you can't be going around calling me a liar, because I've already explained that it's just information. So the latest information is that apparently Stephen Moffat's production team, headed by obviously Stephen Moffat himself, wants to take over the running of Doctor Who, which would mean his creative team then would take total control of Doctor Who, and Chris Chibnall would be leaving after series 13 anyway, but he would basically just become a figurehead for that last series. Now, can I see this happening? Head telling me no, because that would cause a lot of problems with the friendship of Chris Chibnall and Stephen Moffat, unless Chris Chibnall has asked for this to happen. So as Rabbi said, he would go out gracefully with his head held high. He wouldn't with us, but with the other shills he would. With the shills, he'd be perfect. He'll be remembered for being this groundbreaking showrunner that did all these amazing things. What did he do that was amazing? And by the way, as I keep pointing out to guilt people in, because I will guilt you, anybody that still supports this is what you're supporting. And I'll say it again. You're supporting that Chris Chibnall has made it that the Time Lords were founded on the experimentation and murder of a child several times. The child wasn't just murdered once. During that whole scene, we've seen the child regenerate several times. So Tectum, or whatever her name is, the Gallifreyan woman that found an abandoned child, brought her back, looked after her until she had her accident, and then decided to experiment on her when she didn't die and seen that she could regenerate, right? That's what Chris Chibnall has done. And if you still support that, as I said, if you have kids, your kids should be taken off you, because quite frankly, if you're okay with what Chris Chibnall has done, there must be something sick in your head, because I don't know about you, but I'm not comfortable with the fact that Chris Chibnall has done this. I mean, if you think that experimenting on a child is okay, well then, as I said, you should be locked up.
That nobody in the production office went, wait a minute, Chris, that means that this new character that you want to be sympathetic and a hero has murdered a child over and over again.
And you know what the most ironic thing about this whole situation is that he made such a big deal over Jodie Whittaker's being the first female doctor that she's not even that anymore.
Right.
So he's actually retconned his own second creation, which just goes to show you the stupidity of Chris Chibnall. And you know what? Let's just ignore the fact, because this is what these fans do. Let's just ignore the fact that there's blatant plot holes throughout this whole story thread anyway, right?
Massive plot holes.
Right. But the most interesting thing for me is that none of the shills or Twitter have touched the fact that the Time Lords are founded on the fact that a child was experimented on and murdered. right? They don't bring that up. Do you ever notice in the defense videos as well? They never bring that up, right? Because that is a subject. That's where we get them on this argument. If they support that, there's something wrong with them. And there is. I'm going to call you out now. There's something wrong with you if you support that. That's like saying, right, so you watch something on animals being tortured, you'd feel disgusted about that, wouldn't you? You'd call, you'd be outraged. So why are you not outraged that the doctor found it, or this Gallifreyan woman found this abandoned child, and then up until then, yes, I will say she looked after the child, she educated the child, but as soon as the child had an accident and died, and seeing that the child regenerated, then that woman took the choice, instead of looking after the child, took that choice then to experiment and murder that child because she wanted that power, right? That's what they don't talk about, right? They won't bring that up. This is the avenue that we win this fight on with them. Because if they're out, how are they going to defend that? And you know what I've noticed when I actually put that comment up, nobody ever replies back to me. Nobody ever replies back to me when I actually broach that with them, right? They suddenly become quiet, right? So that's where we win the argument. Last week I said it's game over. Moffat came out. With this information coming out now, I feel a little bit more optimistic, but I'm not going anywhere, and I'm going to keep fighting this for as long as I deem is necessary. And I'm seriously considering, but I want to hear your thoughts on it as well. So you can let me know in the comments after this goes up, and let me know if you would like me to do it. I just don't think that the other side should get away scot-free reviewing this and saying this is fucking brilliant, when we know for a fact it's not going to be. We need some representation out there, and you know what? I've been representing this side of the fandom for years, so why should I actually stop now? Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to give up doing what I do. Right? This is what this channel does, right? I call out the bullshit. I've always done it, and I call out those people that I think are wrong. Now, I like one of you shit little assholes that are going to dislike this stream, right, to tell me why you're okay with the fact that a Gallifreyan woman murdered and experimented on a child. Come on, try justify that one, right? If you want to know why your ratings went away, that's why your ratings went away as well. Go ahead, Rabbi. Sorry, I had a bit of a rant there, but this pissed me off.
Further, we need to ask these people, do you think Chris Chibnall is saying that women shouldn't be able to go into sciences, go into STEM subjects? Is that what he's saying with this? Because he's had this female explorer and scientist. She finds this timeless child. Yeah. She said dies, and he experiments over and over. So is this the subtext of this episode? Is it saying that women should not be allowed to go into STEM subjects? Because that seems to be the inference from it. So
I'm being honest. If you look at his whole series, it seems to be very anti-women. Series 11 was kind of anti-men, but like Jodie Whittaker's Doctor still wasn't the brightest spark. In Series 12, instead of doing the anti-man shit, even though there was a bit of that in it, it was mostly women that were the bad guys in this series. It was like Jodie was incompetent as well. It was like as if he set out to kind of try and satisfy us by trying to retcon what you know what I mean? Because we were mad about, obviously, Jodie becoming the Doctor and saying that she's not good enough. But sorry, mate, you don't look at the end of the day, this is all Chris Chibnall needs to do right now. You need to go to Piers Wenger after this crisis is over, hand in your P45 and do the right thing for this fandom and this show. It's the only way now. There is no way he's going to rescue this. And even if Moffat was to come back in some sort of capacity, let's be honest here. Let's be honest. What could Moffat actually do for Series 13 to save this? Nothing. He would have to come in Series 14 and actually see where the cards have laid down so he can try and understand this firstly and try fix this. He's not going to be able to fix this overnight either. This is not going to be... Because he'll have to do it in a way, but he'll have to do it in a way that's not going to burn Chris Chibnall too much either. You know what I mean? He's already, if he does do this hostile takeover, he's already going to have Chris Chibnall on his back anyway, pissed off with him, right? So he'll do it in a way that's not going to infuriate Chibnall too much, but will satisfy us at the same time. It's gonna take a. I don't know, but I mean, at the end of the day, I could keep saying, Moffat could do it, and then he could come in and then end up being just as bad. So I don't know, because everybody's telling me that Dracula is bad. I don't think you'd want Moffat if you've seen Dracula. And to be honest with you, I have seen the reviews from both sides, and you can see that they both do talk that it does go a bit woke.
Okay, I'll say the difference between Dracula and season 11 and 12 of Doctor Who is Dracula. It was okay. It wasn't great. It was okay for me. I didn't find it offensively woke, but there were woke elements in there. But the real difference is this: Moffat is a writer. He's able to tell a story. He's able to write. He's able to create characters that are like people, not like skin colors and genders. That he's able to do that. So I think that's always going to put you on a different level to Chibnall, because they just don't think he's got it. So I want to go back to another point you were saying, that if this is a hostile takeover, I think it's more likely that it's a takeover that Chibnall is begging for, because they had no idea. They thought this was going to be really popular. They thought people didn't like there wasn't enough villains and monsters in season 11. We're going to pack it out and do the greatest thing ever. And they thought it was going to be fantastic and get an incredible response. They never even considered it would flop. Like it flopped, and it did flop massively. So I think that he's beside himself and he doesn't know what to do. And I think he wants out. I don't think he likes being the loser that he knows he is.
Yeah. I was going to ask anybody in the chat, has anybody heard from Chris, who normally moderates on the channel? I text him on Twitter as well, and I haven't actually seen him that active. Does anybody know if he's okay?
Neurotic's streaming now. Maybe he's over there.
Hold on. No, it's not. If he's over there, that's fine. I just haven't heard from him. Just a little bit worried. Let's see. Sure. His last posts were in. His last post was the 6th of April. What date is it today?
15th.
Right, so it was over a week ago. It was the last time he actually put anything up on his Twitter account. Has anybody actually seen him?
Which Chris we talking about? Chris Persia?
Yeah.
I'm sure I saw him since the.
Well, he hasn't tweeted since. According to this, he hasn't He last tweeted on the 6th of. Oh, Chris. All right. So he's. Oh, but that. I just hope he's okay. I haven't heard from him. That's, you know what I mean? If I don't hear from someone, I normally, it'd be the same, Derek, if you went missing for a while, I'd be wondering where you are. But yeah, listen, if he's out there doing his thing and helping people, fair play to you, Chris. Just stay safe and stay well, my friend. There's loads of people doing that at the moment. Absolutely fantastic. I've even said to the older neighbours here, if they need any shopping, just let me know. Because we don't really want them going outside the door, because, we still don't know how bad we are in Ireland. It's not just gone on all the usual sites. But then, yeah, hopefully he's okay. I'm just hoping he's all right, that's all. But if he's off doing his thing, then I understand. It's just I didn't know. So, yeah, as I said, if it was you as well, Derek, I'd be asking. Yeah, but here, listen, I want to show you this, put a smile on your face. As I said, this just goes to show you, this is the difference between a great actor and what we get with, obviously, Miss Whittaker. But this is a little quote from the director or the writer, Douglas McKean. It was obviously for Good Omens. My directing note to David was, imagine it's the TARDIS blowing up. He said, got it. And as you can see there's the little explosion there. So he's imagining that's the TARDIS. And there you go. Look at the emotion in his eyes. So he funneled. That's what I'm saying. He channeled the fact he used past experiences. So he pretended that was the TARDIS, and he welled up because he's a fan. He gets it. Of course, I'd be the same. Do you remember the episode where we thought the TARDIS was going to be destroyed?
Oh, that's going to be on Sunday.
And his reaction. So
that's going to be on Sunday's episode, right? The Daleks melt.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. So we'll actually get to see that scene. So just to show you, though, that's the difference between a great actor, Jay Botts, and what we get with Jodie Whittaker. Jodie Whittaker wouldn't be able to funnel any sort of emotion like that, thinking of the TARDIS, because she just doesn't care.
Exactly. And she doesn't understand why anybody would care. That's really the bottom line. She just doesn't know why. Why would anybody care about this silly children's program? That's what goes through her head. You know, I remember 2 years ago when season 11 came out, and she was doing like interviews, and she was like saying, "Well, sonic screwdrivers." Well, you just go like this, and it doesn't really mean anything. I'm like, well, no, you can so see that's what she thinks.
Yeah, it's just it is sad because you see what we got. I mean, look, as I said, David Tennant for me is not my favorite Doctor of the New Who. He's not me least favorite. I mean, I don't have a least favorite, but
or Jodie.
Well, obviously
she's a Doctor.
Jodie, well, listen, that's not least favorite. See, I didn't even mention her because she doesn't exist as far as I'm concerned.
Exactly.
And that's the way I've been looking at this lately. But listen, last week, yes, was it a wobble? No, it was a rant. I was definitely angry when Moffat did do that short story. I was pissed off with him. But listen, I'm liking the news that I'm hearing. The only reason why I'm liking the news that I'm hearing because it comes from the same source. So I'm a little bit more optimistic. But as I said, head tells me no, this is not going to happen. Me heart tells me that there's every possibility.
I mean, to move your head there closer towards it. Keep in mind there was that he wrote. I know you didn't like it, but I know he wrote Twice Upon a Time and put it together when he heard there was going to be no Christmas special if he didn't do it. That shows a man has dedication to Doctor Who.
I know. I'm not going to criticize that. Look, that's the one side when I actually found out that Twice Upon a Time shouldn't even have existed, and I did a whole thing on it, and we spoke about this. I even said it. The one thing that I cannot criticize Stephen Moffat is his loyalty and his love for Doctor Who. It was clear he was already gone. Peter Capaldi was gone. The fact that he rang Peter Capaldi up and said, "Listen, I need you to do one more. They're not going to do a Christmas special," and he was already off doing other stuff, and he said, "Okay, yeah, I'm in."
Right.
He came back for that as well. It just look. There's no. I will never question Stephen Moffat's love for Doctor Who. There is things in it that he has done that have absolutely pissed me off. Don't get me wrong. And recent events, I will have to say, he has annoyed me a little bit. But if this news, as I said, I will take it whatever which way you want it. But I'm a little bit optimistic about it. So, but we'll just have to wait. The next couple of weeks are going to be very interesting. As I said, me and Rabbi, as I said, there's plenty of Doctor Who news if you look. And, you know, as I said, when me and Rabbi finished with the last one, I said it because we didn't know what we were going to be talking about. And as I said to Rabbi, and Rabbi agreed with me, is look, there'll be something. They'll do something, BBC, or there'll be some sort. So there's news. There's news out there, and there's news worth talking about. But I will keep on this whole Stephen Moffat thing. I'm going to keep my ear to the ground now because this is a little bit of exciting news. You know, this is what this channel did all last year. It looks like that, you know, we might be in the loop again. I thought after Series 12, you know, me and the source talked a few times over that period, a couple of weeks after, well, a month or two after that, but then we kind of floated away. The fact that they've come back with stuff, I've been asking questions a lot lately anyway, because there's been certain things with Moffat that have annoyed me, and I've I have, I'm going to be honest. I demanded fucking answers. I wanted to know what was going on. And obviously, this is what I'm getting now. So there's obviously a game, as some have said, there must be something going on. It is interesting. I will keep my ear to the ground. I've also been told that if there is any new developments, if I want to know, I will be told. So I've told them, listen, you don't even have to ask me a second time.
Yeah, we want to know.
I said, of course I want to know. So we will concentrate mostly on that. Obviously, then if we do get news about what monsters or villains they're going to have, well, listen, I can already tell you, right, me and Rabbi are going to do a prediction. I'll tell you what we'll do. The next stream me and Rabbi are going to do, right, because I think this will be an interesting one, is me and Rabbi are going to do a stream, and we're going to do the predictions for villains to come back, villains to return for Series 13.
Oh, that's going to be quite easy one. It's Sea Devils, I'm sure, coming back.
Right. Because I can tell you now, oh yeah, now we only touched on it briefly on the last one. Thank you, Rabbi. Good one. The Sea Devils were supposed to be in Series 12, but they were cut. Now, the question nobody is asking though is why? Now, Rabbi, you did come up with a point, didn't you? You said it's something that you think it's something to do with money, wasn't it, or something more
I think so.
financial? Which is a good point. But it is an interesting one. It would be very interesting to find out why they were. Now, we do know that when they do write a series, that certain stuff does end up on the cutting room floor. But what's interesting about Series 12 is, as we know, is that there was extensive reshoots done for this series. Sure, they were still filming. When they stopped filming, and all of a sudden they started refilming, and Manip Gill, Tolson Cole, and Bradley Walsh were actually on location and spotted on location at a student complex at the time. So we do know as well that John Barrowman's cameo was actually shot at a different time. It was shot separately, and it was actually added in after the fact. So Series 12 went through a lot of extensive reshoots. So there's no surprise that this, because look at, they were supposed to be in. We broke it on this channel as well. The Sea Devils were supposed to be in Series 12, and when they didn't appear, I was shocked. I was shocked. Something happened, but I will agree with Rabbi. I reckon it was a financial thing, or maybe I'd like to think it was whoever created the estate. If the BBC didn't create the Sea Devils, I don't know who created the Sea Devils.
That'd be fantastic.
But maybe their estate said, no, you're not using the Sea. No, you're not having the Sea Devils. Or maybe it was some stupid redesign, and Chris Chibnall got cold feet at the last second because he'd already seen some of the reaction of fans. Because remember, he denied that there was Daleks coming back, but yet we know they're going to be in the special. Like, he's an idiot. Like, you know what I mean? He denied Daleks coming back, and then he said, and then they asked, well, they coming back for the special. And he denied that as this is the type of idiot that we have. Like, we've seen the footage, man. We know they're in. Are they in Series 12 or are they in the bleeding special? Come on. But no, that's how they look.
I understand that, like knowing look that he does, like he knows what's going. Like, yeah, like after they did the Dalek one last year or 2 years ago, that we should do more monsters. Yeah, and we all know that you were like you were doing a method course. See, that's the reason that makes me think that Chibnall really wants to get off the Doctor Who train, because we saw how much he did a massive course correction for season 12 from season 11, right? They really tried hard, and they failed horribly, but they tried hard.
But here's the thing: I wouldn't mind, right? He tried, right? He failed. Don't like the Timeless Children's story arc, right? Take that out of it, and we had got the rest, right? I would have said, okay, he's tried, he's failed. But what I would have likened from Chris Chibnall, his next move for me would have been, okay, I'm still not getting this right. Maybe it is time that I find out what the fans, why it's going wrong. Let them tell me. Leave his ego out of it and actually just listen to the fans. Yes, he will have to take it on the chin because some fans will end up insulting him, calling him names. That's just facts of life. That happens. But if he actually gets down to the nitty-gritty of it all and actually looks at the comments and actually looks and listens to what fans are saying, right? Take that all on board, go back then, do Series 13. If he fails again, then, he's leaving anyway, but he fails again, then he'll be known as the worst show. Well, he is going to be known as one of the worst showrunners.
Right now, that's the thing. He's,
I mean, I don't know. Look, I think it's too late. I think he needs to go. I think he should have left after Series 11 anyway. I heard he did. Here again, Rabbi, I think you're onto something now because, listen, again, on this channel, people will remember. I actually told people on this channel that after Series 11, Chris Chibnall apparently went to Piers Wenger's office and actually handed in his resignation, and Piers Wenger refused.
Yeah, hadn't dipped down yet. It was the first year. They had a very strong average. They had a very strong first episode. On paper, there was no reason to be alarmed at the end of season 11. But, us people who could see the trends and see what's going on, who were really looking into it, we knew it was going to, it played out exactly like we knew it would.
But it's also showed the character of this man. It went wrong after Series 11, and he was willing to walk away. So, which means and proves to me, as you said as well, maybe he wants Moffat to come in because he wants a way out. But if he wanted a way out, the BBC should just accept his resignation. Let him go. He doesn't obviously want to write for the show. He'd rather be doing other things than Doctor Who. Right? He'd rather be writing something else rather than Doctor Who. That's what it is. It's evident. So let the man go. If he wants to go, he goes. Let him go. He's not good enough, and he knows he's not good enough. And maybe he is trying his best, and maybe he is being all defensive because maybe his best is just to him. He's given it all. He's not being appreciated, but to us, his best is just not good enough. His best is not good enough, and he knows that. So he wants a way out, and they won't give him a way out. So if it is Piers Wenger keeping him on board because he wants to save face, well, then I'll say to Piers Wenger, you're wrong. We don't care if you want to save face or not.
I think with the ratings going as badly as they have done, again, it's not just they didn't get a bump at the end of the season. It's not that they didn't continue their decline. It's they increased the decline.
Yes.
Finale. That was the crushing thing for them. That was the thing that really pushed them over the edge.
Yeah, you're right. It kind of. I don't think they were actually expecting that kind of outcome.
Yeah, they had no clue. They thought we would love it. They thought we were gonna the Master. Oh, it's all good. Cybermen. They thought we were gonna love it, and they were so wrapped up in smelling their own farts. Saying how great they were. That's the thing. If you live in a bubble where everybody's telling you exactly what you want to hear, at some point you're going to have to get an objective metric like sales, like ratings. It's like the comic book industry. They maybe have to say that whatever Max Versaggio, this comic book writer, is the greatest thing ever. But then if she can't sell a comic, if her comics are the lowest selling things, then it's just you can't get by those metrics.
Yeah, it's I don't know. Even looking at Series 12, right, compared to Series 11, you will see also as well the caliber of actor and actress that they get. Now they
actors in Series
11. They did get some good cameos in Series 12 with Stephen Fry, Lenny Henry, and your man from Game of Thrones. But if you actually look at their screen time, it's not really that great. But you look at the caliber of actor and actress that they have around Jodie Whittaker in other stories. They're not high caliber. They don't have great CVs. They've all worked on low budget stuff before. Maybe worked on soaps and stuff like that. They're not like the past. You look at the past actors, even Christopher Eccleston when he was cast as the Doctor. Right, he was working on some great stuff. David Tennant was the same. He was
interesting.
caliber supporting actor. Like actress even in Sirius to David Tennant Sirius. Look at it. Joan Collins, fecking, what you call it? Who else had you got in it? You had Peter Kay. You had your man from, what's it? Jesus. Even in Sirius one, Simon Pegg, people like that, the android Anne Robinson, but she did have to voice that. Davina McCall, like all of these people, like, you know what I mean? The caliber of people that they were getting into the show.
Well, you know, see next year, because like I can understand them getting good guest stars for this year and last year, because it didn't really sink in what a disaster this Doctor Who was. But like now, I think it's at a point where it's going to damage Jodie Whittaker's career and also Chris Chibnall.
You know what
happened? There's a point where that's going to happen, which is another reason why I think they both might want out.
Yeah, but you know what happens? You know what happens? The same thing that happened to Friends, right? You know when the show is near its end, when they start doing a series and they start having guest stars all over the place and bringing in
and they did
actors and actresses.
Do you remember that? I thought it was weird when the Woman Who Fell to Earth aired, and they did the season trailer afterwards.
Oh yeah, it's just all the support.
Yeah, they didn't show you anything exciting. They just showed you all the famous people they got in it. I'm like, show me something exciting.
Yeah, it was like, oh, look who we have in it. These are all good actors and actresses that you know. We want you to watch our shit. That's what should. And by the way, the tagline for Series 12 was "Space for All." Yeah, space for all right. Well, space for all. Well, there's plenty of space for all you safe spaces, snowflake clowns, because 68 of them walked away. So there you go. And as I said, and I'll say it again, we know who's responsible for the downfall of Doctor Who. And it's not just Chris Chibnall, Jodie Whittaker. It's the supporters of this era who are responsible for the downfall. So when this all does go pear-shaped, don't even attempt to come after YouTubers like me, Ballstrick, Gary, because you know what? We will destroy every single one of you.
They're going to run away because they don't care about Doctor Who. They just care about their agenda. And
well, as the doctor says, run.
Run, yeah.
Just run.
No, I got to go to bed, mate. It's chaos going on.
No problem. Listen, Rabbi, thank you again. As I said, this is the thing that me and Rabbi are going to keep doing. Rabbi, let me see. What's it, Wednesday now? I know you're not available Friday, so I don't know if we've planned on Saturday, but we'll talk about doing something on Saturday anyway. So, text me, because you might come up with something, or we'll do something on my channel or your channel or the Irish Geek, whatever. We might do something on the Irish Geek, because we did say we were going to do War of the Worlds or the Time Machine. I think we should do the Time Machine or something.
Time Machine as well. I think it
right.
Looks nice.
We'll do the Time Machine on Saturday then, if you're up for it, right? Because I know you're not around Friday. So I will see you soon, my friend. Thank you for joining me.
And good night, everybody in the chat.
Get yourself to bed. I know, this was actually fantastic. I'm actually loving these little streams. So again, as I said to you, Rabbi, though, if you do see something Doctor Who related news that you actually want to talk about for the next one of these, just jot it down. That's what I actually did today. I actually did some proper fucking writing. I actually wrote everything down that I wanted to talk about, because I wanted to try and be as professional as possible. So I hope you did. Rabbi, I'll let you go and I'll just talk to them there for a few minutes. But listen, good night, my friend. You look after yourself. But listen, guys, I hope you have enjoyed these streams that me and Rabbi have been doing. And we will, as I said, get you on to do that stream problem being with me and Rabbi. Rabbi is not available on Fridays. It's a Jewish holiday, problem being. So I think it's Passover, isn't it? Or Sabbath. I think it is. So he's not available on Fridays. So he won't be. That's what I mean. I'd love to have him on Fridays, but he's not available on Fridays, and we've got to respect that. What else have we got? Yeah, so I hope you have enjoyed it. Let me see. I'll just give because we never said hello to everybody. So what I'll do is I'll say good night to everybody before we leave. So, but I hope you have enjoyed these little streams. We're going to be doing a lot more of them, as I said. And as I said, that there's some exciting news around Stephen Moffat. I'll keep my ear to the ground, see what else I can find out. But remember, we did speak about this on the channel months ago. We always seem to be ahead of people on this, and then people catch up. But we never seem to get the credit. But I suppose not about credit, but it would be nice to be recognised that this channel broke some news because we have broke a lot. But I never get. But we got problem being Colin is here, so I'll say good night. John, Michael Fink, good night. Leland, Derek, Stephanie, Crusader. Bobby D. French, good night. We've got Daniel. Moosey, nice to have you here. And he said, opinion, it was Jodie's fault. It was Chibnall's fault, not Jodie's. Yes, we do blame Chris Chibnall for most of the damage, but we just don't think Jodie Whittaker is up to the standard anyway. But you are right. I will agree with you on that one. And good night. Derek McManus, good night. Charlotte Shields, garbage. Stephanie. I might be repeating some of these names again, but Crystal, I just want to be thorough. Creasy, 1984. Who else have we got? Spitfire Mark 1A. Good night, also. And who else? Just want to make sure I get everybody, because I normally say hello to you all. Lee Halford, good night as well. Stephanie, I think I mentioned you, but I mentioned you again just in case. And we're getting near the end now. I think I've said good night to everybody. And I've said good night. Lee, we do several recaps. This stream won't be long going up. It's only just under 2 hours. So I do right at the start of the video give the bullet points before we actually start the stream. So you'll find out right at the start of the stream what the news is. And what else? Good night, people, and thank you. No problem. Listen, as I said, I'll gonna try to be as round as much as I can, keep you well informed as much as I can, and Blue Bonnet may be streaming on Saturday, so please avoid clash. Well, unfortunately, I have to stream when Rabbi is available. And sometimes I stream when Gary and Ballstreck is on and other YouTubers are on. People will go and watch everybody anyway. So I don't. I do try and avoid as much as I can, which I have done in the past, and I will always do so. But I've got the stream when Rabbi is available. When Rabbi is available, he only has a limited amount of time. Also, in Rabbi's country, they do some power outages as well. So, there does be some power outages sometimes. So, when Rabbi is available, I try to get him on as much as I can. So, yes, we will try and avoid as much, because I do, because, but as I said, everybody will watch everybody's stream anyway. It doesn't matter what time it's on at. But I don't think we will clash, but we will try not to. But as I said, I have to stream when Rabbi is available. That's just the way it goes sometimes, unfortunately. Rabbi being in Israel, me being in Ireland. And it does be very difficult. I actually seen, that Blue Bonnet is doing a 30-day not watching crap TV. Is it not watching crap TV or something? Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. To be honest with you, what's a not to watch crap TV 30-day challenge or something like that? Yeah, that sounds brilliant, man. That's a great idea. Love what Blue is doing with our channel anyway. Blue is always a great friend of this channel and always will be. So as I said, we try not to clash with anybody. We try that all the time, but sometimes it can be unavoidable. But as I said, it doesn't matter anyway. You can watch someone live or you can watch them later. That's the beauty of YouTube. I mean, I don't always get everybody watching me live, and then I'll get most of me viewers then after the fact. So, it kind of works out. And anyway, by the way, if you haven't actually subscribed to Blue Bonnet Hoovian's channel, it's a nice time to actually give the channel a plug there. And go and actually check her out on Saturday, whether I'm on or not. At the same time, go and check out Blue Bonnet's channel. Check out her content. She does some great content. She does some content with Daniel that does be in the live chat there as well. And actually subscribe to Daniel's channel as well. Listen, these are all friends of mine. These are all people that I've had on the panels in the past. So, I'll do anything for these guys. Our Blue Bonnet is on at 4. Well, we're grand because me and Rabbi don't go on till normally 5 or 6 anyway. So we'll be fine. And Daniel's on Blue Bonnet's channel at 4 p.m. There you go. So Daniel's on with Blue Bonnet. And don't forget to subscribe to Daniel's channel as well. Daniel also has a Facebook group. It's Daniel's YouTube hub. So if you're a YouTuber and you're on Facebook and you want to actually throw up your video or your channels or whatever to get promotion, go and check that out as well. Daniel, I have to say, man, Daniel, a few weeks ago, I thought Daniel was going to walk away and not do any more Doctor Who stuff. But you know what? Fair play to him. He's stepped up. He's continued to do, and now he's branching out. He's on Facebook and all now doing his thing with his groups, and obviously he's made me part of that. Made me an admin on it, which I'm honored, my friend. Thank you very much. But again, it's another little thing. Oh, and again, I haven't actually spoke to Rabbi about it. I forgot to actually say it to him. But we will talk off air about that. But we still have that other thing that we're going to be launching. And that will be another tool for you guys to actually use. Again, it'll be for, if you want to write your own little articles, stuff like that. We will give you further details on that, but that is something for fans. This will be a place where you guys can go and actually, get your side of the argument across, because you can't go on to forums like Gallifrey Base or any of those other threads that do be on Reddit or out without getting any sort of grief and abuse and stuff like that. And it's all propaganda anyway. We aim to actually do, but we're gonna try, and be as balanced as possible. So we will get people who are on the other side that aren't lunatics, that are willing to write write articles and debate their side of it. We have to be balanced, so we've got to give the other side an opportunity to be able to write some articles. They won't take us up on our offer, of course, because the whole point is they'll get to make their arguments, then their side will get to make counter arguments and stuff like that. But they never stick around to hear counter arguments because they already know that they've lost their argument. So, but it will be a place for us that would be another tool for us to use. It'll be up in time, as I said. It's gonna go up anyway before the Christmas special, because we will have to do our work. Listen, I've been on the Doctor Who official Facebook page and YouTube channel, even on the BBC, telling people, I've been looking through comments and replying to people, seeing their comments, saying that they don't like this area, and encouraging them to join the Tardis Zone. And I will say I have no shame in that, because at the end of the day, the more voices we get in this fandom, the better. The better. I want to be able to get writers as well. I want to be able to get video content creators. I want us to be ready for when the Christmas special or the festive special comes along. I want to be ready so we are able to pick apart the whole thing, right? See what arguments they make and see what counter arguments we can make. You know, break this down and actually give it, different voices, as I said. And, you know, the other side won't obviously they won't obviously come on and do their articles on ours, but we will certainly highlight their arguments, and then we will have our counter arguments. So again, you know, we're going to be ready. We're not pricking around this time. You know, at the end of the day, the BBC, listen, this fandom, this side of the fandom, the last couple of months, especially since Series 12, when all this nonsense was happening and unfolding, everybody started sending emails to the BBC, right? And up until this crisis happened, we had the BBC on the ropes. They had Chibnall coming out with articles, Matt Stevens coming out. They had bloody Chris Chibnall coming out. They had people singing from the same hymn sheet, right? So they were losing the battle, right? Now they think because of this whole disaster that we've all gone away and we've forgotten what's happened. Well, this is why I'm not going away. This is why I'm not giving up, because, you know, someone has to. And I've always been fighting, even on Facebook, the early days when all this nonsense started happening. There was me and a few others that do be in this live chat with me that were on Facebook with me back in the day. So why should I stop doing what I've done? You know, it's got me where it's got me now today. So we will continue to do and highlight all the wrong, but also we will praise when praise is justified, and we haven't always went down on this era. I even said during the very first Spyfall review that we did on this channel with the panel that Spyfall Part 1, bar a couple of moments, wasn't the worst episode of the Chibnall era. It was probably one of the slightly better episodes, but that was still saying a lot because the bar had been lowered, and I had made it clear that I had lowered the bar. But it's still not good enough. But listen, I'm going to go. I've ranted on for an extra, well, not ranted, but I've continued on for an extra 20 minutes bleeding, just yapping away as I always do. I can never say goodnight, as the wife says. So I'm going to say goodnight. Listen, thanks for joining me. I want to thank you all for the continued support on this channel. A lot of you thought I had disappeared because you didn't see anything on the channel for a week. I listen. You will know when I'm gone, because I will let you know out straight when I'm gone. I won't just go away. So if anything like that ever happens again, and I'm away for a week on YouTube on this channel, then you know something is that happening. BBC is that they're getting me with some sort of copyright strike. I've also noticed as well, actually, just before I leave, that certain music that I used to use for videos, right? All of a sudden now, when I put them up, are being copyrighted. They're not being copyrighted because the music, they're being copyrighted because of the content that I'm doing. Also, I guarantee you, actually, when I had Rabbi on the last stream, now everybody seen the last stream that we had, we were just talking about Doctor Who. We weren't actually saying anything too wrong. The stream was limited for no reason other than we're talking about I'm on BBC's radar right now. This is why I'm saying to BBC, listen, you have a chance to fix this. And if you've been listening to anything I say, yes, I know I get angry, but if you actually listen to what me, Rabbi, and other fans have been saying in the live chat, you could turn this around and fix it. And stop actually getting me videos copyrighted, because, you know, if it hadn't have been for me and other YouTubers out there, Series 12 wouldn't have got the viewers that it got, because we were so hated that we generated so much hate towards us because of what we were saying, calling this shit show out, that it actually made more shills more determined to actually sit there and watch something that they wouldn't actually normally watch. Look, most of these fans don't even watch Doctor Who. Right? They watch the first few minutes just to register the actual rating, and then they come back right at the end. They're idiots. Idiots. Nobody watches Doctor Who anymore. Not the real fans, anyway. Not the real fans. I've noticed all the others that have been coming out with articles lately have gone quiet. But again, as I said, this new tool that we use, we will be highlighting their stupidity. We will give them the opportunity to come on and actually defend this era if they want to, because, you know, unlike them, we are a democracy. You know, unlike what Chris Chibnall says, you know, the fandom, to a certain extent, there is a bit of a democracy there. You know, you are entitled to your opinions, and we will give the other side an opportunity, but they won't take it, as I said. Right, listen, good night. Stay safe. Look after yourselves, you know. It's still quite startling that there's people out there still not social distancing, still not staying at home. It just baffles me. Interesting graph, actually, that was put up by Sky News earlier. So all those countries that have social distance and that have lockdown, they've actually started, the numbers have started to come down, and in some cases they've started to flatten out. In countries where they haven't, and they're talking about just walking around and infecting people, the US, I've actually put it up on me Facebook if anybody wants to see it. It's quite startling. America's numbers have shot straight up. So I'm just going to say it again, listen, you know, right now, nobody knows what the right course of action, but looking at the data, it looks like that social distancing and staying home is the actual way to go. So for those people that are still out there, and by the way, there's been over 3,000 fines in the UK for people that have breached this. I say all well and good. I think it should be introduced worldwide until people get the message. Stay home, you save lives. It's as simple as that, right? I'm not going to get into it because, you know, at the end of the day, it is a touchy subject. And, you know, I know people out there, we all have different views on it, which is fair enough. But at the end of the day, if you look at the data right now, it looks like, as I said, those countries that have lockdown and have implemented social distancing are actually going to come out of this a lot quicker. I mean, the numbers in the US is just startling. You just see the line of the US go whoosh. Now, China is in the same graph, and they're completely, that's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. I don't believe the China numbers for 1 second, but we won't get into that either. But listen, good night. Look after yourselves. I don't want to get into this whole thing again, but just stay safe. Look after yourselves, and I will talk to you. What day is it today? It's Wednesday, isn't it? Well, I did say I might do something tomorrow, right? I haven't decided yet, but we'll see what we can do tomorrow, right? Good night. Look after yourselves. Sorry, just before I leave, I see that there's a couple of people just at the joining in right at the end of the chat, right at the end of the stream. just to let you know, this stream will be up on the channel, obviously, when it processes and goes up, and you'll be able to watch the stream from the start. But thank you for popping in, Careboy12. Thank you. I'm doing okay, by the way. And to Karubi, greetings from Spain. Good night. Look after yourselves. I will talk to you all very, very soon.